Hey everyone, the Smoking Android here. So after speaking with 72099, who's the creator of this guide over at XDA, I've decided to do a complete guide from start to finish on how to flash a custom SBF, root, install recovery, and DeOdex in order to flash PROMs like GreyBlur and GingerBlur and others, which could be followed by theming. Plus enable a few goodies such as 1080p recording, HDMI mirroring, and tethering, to name a few. Also, Seven wanted me to make sure that you all are aware that this guide does apply to all the international Atrix out there, with the exception of the AT&T Atrix. Do not. This is not for the AT&T Atrix. Don't ask. It's not going to work. So moving along, of course I'm going to have to throw out a disclaimer. All of the procedures require some basic computer knowledge and could potentially break your phone. AT&T Atrixes are not supported, as said before. Also be aware that sections of this guide apply only to 2.1.1 and now 2.2.3 and are not for the AT&T Atrix at all, as stated above. I will have links to both the original guide, care of Seven, who is one of the hardworking developers over at XDA, and the frequently asked questions section, which should be looked at first before asking any questions, as the FAQ section is really, really helpful and actually has a lot of answers to most of your questions. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I actually had everything done on my phone before, but for video purposes, I did flash back to stock. This is actually the Australian Telstra ROM, closest thing to the Bell SBF, considering we don't have that yet. So I'm going to be starting this guide from fresh, and we'll be doing this together. So let's go ahead and jump in here. All right, so first things first, you're going to want to head on over to XDA forums. If you don't already have an account, you're going to want to set one up. You're going to want to go over to xda-developers.com, set up an account, go ahead and head on over to their Atrix section, and you're going to want to find this guide in there. And I will have a link posted for you in the description, so it'll be easy to reference from. And you'll see the title of this particular guide is you're flashing your SBF, root, recovery, DeOdex, and all the goodies. All right, so what we're going to do in order to get started is we're going to go ahead and come on down to making sure that your device is supported from the list below. So you're going to want to go ahead and look in there. I believe there probably is maybe one or two others that may have been left out, but Seven's pretty good on keeping on top of this. So this should be a pretty complete list. Anyways, with that said, you're also going to want to go ahead and download the required files. First file being RSD Lite. That is going to be the program that we are going to use to flash the SBF. You're also going to want to download the Windows 7 drivers, whether it be 32-bit or your 64-bit version. You're going to want to make sure that you have those downloaded and installed. In fact, you're going to want to download the drivers and install those ones first. So that way your phone can recognize and talk to your computer, and everything will work without a hitch. Next, you're going to want to download the 2.1.1 French SBF. Now, apparently you can download the 2.2.3, but just for safety's sake and for video purposes and simplicity, we're just going to go ahead and flash this the 2.1.1 SBF, which is actually the France SBF. Seven believes that this is the best one for performance and battery and so on. Also updated drivers on the fingerprint scanner. I have tested and I do agree these things do work better in my opinion, as well as unlocked HSUPA. So you will have the 4G speeds, which is nice. Once that's downloaded, you're also going to want to go ahead and download all of these ahead of time. Seven's prep script, the blur fix, the DeOdex tool, and your choice of the PROM. He does recommend GreyBlur 2.1. This is a complete pseudo-ROM. It's working 100%. You can also download GreyBlur. It is now GreyBlur 4.5. So if you decide to go that route, you can do that. Just for purposes, I'm probably going to end up flashing GreyBlur just because I know it works, and so on. So first, we're going to get started and go ahead and start flashing and getting ready to flash the SBF. Alright, so you're going to want to make sure that your phone is unplugged. Okay, let's zoom that out here a little bit. You're going to want to make sure your phone's unplugged from the computer. Once you have unplugged your phone from the computer, you're going to want to install the drivers for your phone, like I said above. And the SBF that you're going to be downloading, you're going to want to extract it. I recommend extracting it to your desktop. Once it's extracted, this is the file that you will see. And it will actually have the extension of that. 2.1.1 signed, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Once you've extracted that onto your desktop and you have the, this is the SBF file ready to go, you are going to want to install RSD Lite. Once RSD Lite's installed, it should put a desktop icon on your computer like so. And, alright, once that's installed, it does take a bit to boot up. Like Seven says, about 3 to 4 minutes the first time. For me, it was actually instantaneous, and that's with me using my netbook, my Toshiba netbook with Windows 7 Basic. So it was actually a pretty quick setup. All right, so once the program's ready to go, you're going to want to open it up. This takes a couple of seconds. And once your phone has been plugged in, once RSD Lite's started up, you're going to want to plug in your phone to the USB to your computer. Alright, you can see it's doing its thing. Alright. Now you are going to want to, once it's done everything, the first time that you turn this on, you plug it in. I've already done this, so my computer's already recognized my phone and everything like that, so I'm all good to go there, but it's going to talk back and forth. You're going to want to wait for Windows to notify that the drivers are being configured correctly. Once that's done, you're going to go ahead and unplug your phone with RSD Lite still running on your computer. Once we do that, we're going to go ahead and power our phone off. Alright, the next procedure is you're going to turn it back on, and as soon as you see the M, you're going to press the volume up button. Volume up, and you're going to press and hold, then you're going to see starting RSD protocol. 7 recommends you wait about 20 seconds before starting this process from this point. Now that RSD Lite's ready to go, we're going to go ahead and plug the phone back in to the computer. Okay? Alright, so now that your phone's plugged in, it'll display your phone's information there. If I was to expand this particular column, you would see that it's ready to go. Flash Olympus, it's recognized the phone. So now we're ready to select our SBF file. So we're going to go ahead and press the little button that has the 3 little dots here. Alright. Then we're going to go ahead, scroll down to locate the SBF file that we want, 2.1.1. Click open on that, that'll load it up for you. It'll have all the information of the SBF file that you're about to flash. And now we're ready to go. Now we're ready to flash the phone. You're going to go ahead and select the start button. Now, this is going to take about 5 to 10 minutes, maybe even longer. Actually, today when I was flashing back to the Telstra SBF, it actually took about 15 minutes for the entire process to go through. While you're waiting and biting your nails and hoping that nothing bad happens, and nothing bad will probably happen, but you know, like I said before, you do need to follow this guide to the T. You'll start seeing a bunch of information coming across here. The progress bar is something that you'll be watching that'll have the status of what's going on and so on. What I'm going to do right now is cut this video for time purposes, and I'll jump back in just before it's about to finish up there. Alright guys, so now the phone has rebooted after flashing, and you've probably seen a bunch of black screens and flashing, and you didn't know what the heck was going on, but in the end, it is doing its thing. It's in the process. You do want to, after it has finished flashing, you're going to want to wait a couple of minutes before unplugging your phone or doing anything, because it does take RSD Lite a couple of minutes to clear, and some people in the past have actually unplugged their phones and it's caused some issues. You don't want to do that. You want to wait until it says pass, like it just has now. Now that it's passed, as you can see, we're at the Motorola setup. We're not going to go ahead and set this up first. First things first, we're going to go ahead and reboot the phone first. Alright? So, I'm going to go ahead and power off, and as you can see, it's all in French. So once the phone's done all its thing, and you see all these little icons flashing, and you've waited a couple of minutes, and you know everything is done, there's nothing else to be done on the phone's end, you're going to go ahead and power the phone off. What we're going to do here is reboot. This is actually common whenever you do any flashing. You want to flash something, then you want to reboot, and then you're going to go ahead and start the process of whatever you need to do next. So we're just rebooting here, and I'll cut the video until we've rebooted back to the Motorola setup screen. Alright guys, so we're now at the Motorola setup screen. As you can see, it's still in French. Good thing they give us the language thing right there. I'm in Canada, so I'm just going to go ahead and choose Canada. And don't know why it's... Oh, here we go. English, Canada. You want to scroll up, I suppose, to your particular locale. So I'm here in Canada, and I'm going to go ahead and set this up so that we're ready to go. But one thing you're going to want to make sure that the Motorola is set up. You don't want to skip it, otherwise it will cause problems. So that's a bit of a tip for you guys. So I'll go ahead and cut the video now and start the Motorola set. Alright guys. So if you haven't already done so after you've set up Motorola and the whole 9 yards in your Wi-Fi account and all that, you can go ahead and unplug your USB from your phone and go ahead and press the close button on RSD Lite. And now you should see your stock, brand new, 2.1.1 ROM. And just to show you guys, go ahead and you can see for yourself 2.1.1. This is the France version. So now you're ready for the next step, root and recovery. Make sure you click for the next video, and if you appreciate this, please remember to subscribe, rate, and comment. And we'll see you in the next part. This is going to be part 1 of 4, and they're going to be pretty quick videos, just so that to keep things simple. Thanks for watching, guys.